Wonderhussy here on a beautiful, overcast day in Idaho. That's right, I've been traveling around the West for the last couple weeks, trying to get away from the oppressive heat that's blanketing the entire country, and I finally got a beautiful, overcast day where it's not too hot. In other words, the perfect day to go to a hot spring. And Idaho has probably the best hot springs of any state I've ever been to. In fact, the most beautiful hot spring I ever went to in my life, and remember, I've been to over 100, is just right over there, tucked away in these nondescript high desert hills. But unfortunately, I don't have time to go to that hot spring, even though the conditions are finally right for it, and I'm finally back up in this part of the country again. Gosh, I only went there once, and it was back in 2016, and I've been dreaming of the day I'd be able to return. But unfortunately, because I had all those dang car problems earlier this summer, which cost me a full month of travel time, well, I don't have time to go to my #1 favorite hot spring. No, I'm hauling ass because I got to go down to Nevada for another event. I got to be there in 2 days. So unfortunately, there will be no hot spring for me. Well, actually, I guess I should say there will be no #1 favorite, most beautiful hot spring of all time for me. Because, well, if I can make this work, I did read about another hot spring that's right along the path I'll be taking to the next video I'm shooting. It's right off the side of the highway. I'm sure it's not the most scenic hot spring in the world, but golly, I came all the way up here to Idaho. And I only went in one hot spring the whole time I was here. And that just simply won't fly. Because like I said, Idaho has the best hot springs, in my opinion, of any state I've ever been to. I'm not kidding. You know, when you think of Idaho, you think of Mormons and potatoes, maybe fry sauce. Well, I'm here to tell you, Idaho is spectacularly beautiful, and it has amazing hot springs. And I'm gonna have to come back next summer when I have more time to check them out. But for now, I'm gonna see if I can at least grab a quick skinny dip in this roadside hot spring. Oh, it's killing me that I'm driving right past the trailhead to that beautiful hot spring, and I'm not able to go soak in it. Why? Why did I spend so much time pissing around in Montana and Wyoming? I should have just come straight to Idaho and stayed here the whole time. Oh, well, there's always next summer. Hey, and on the bright side, I just passed a sign that said I just crossed the 45th parallel, which I guess is the point halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Woohoo! Okay, I guess I'm here. Just threw a few things in my bag, including, I guess, a bikini, because this hot spring is right off the side of the highway and right at the side of a relatively busy river. I mean, if it was nicer weather, there'd probably be a bunch of people rafting. It's pretty chilly today. I can't imagine there's going to be too much traffic. But you never know. This is Idaho, and there are a lot of Mormons in Idaho. So, you know, better to be safe than sorry, because I don't want to end up in the Lemhi County Jail for indecent exposure. Okay, so according to the coordinates in my new favorite hot spring book, this hot spring is somewhere right along the riverbank, right off the side of the highway. And so the downside is, well, first of all, you have to find a place to park, which I parked only about 2/10 of a mile from the GPS mark, but you have to walk along the highway, which, you know, could be kind of dangerous if there was a lot of traffic going by. Fortunately, because it's so overcast and funky today, I guess nobody's out and about. I can't imagine why. This is the best weather I've had my whole trip. I mean, it's been in the 90s every day and, you know, beautiful and sunny, but so hot. This is optimal exploring weather, even if it doesn't look as pretty as a bright blue sunny day. Okay, I'm coming up on this hot spring, or at least the pin that I have on my map that is supposedly where the hot spring is. I'm guessing I'm supposed to somehow go down there. Oh gosh, I don't see anything that looks like a hot spring pool. Maybe over there. I just don't know how I'm gonna get down there without breaking my neck. There's no trail. I don't know about this hot spring. Oh dear. I feel like I have to at least go down and see if there's a hot seep coming out of the water. Yikes. Oh my god. The things I do to find hot springs. Oh, I guess I could go into hot spring hunter mode again. Crikey. She's a beaut. I think she's hiding behind that bush. As long as I don't get stung in the chest by a manta ray, I'll be okay. Yikes. 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 Okay, I made it down to the edge of the river, but I don't see anything that looks like a hot spring pool. I'm literally right on the GPS coordinate of this supposed hot spring, but maybe the river level is down too far. Well, there are footprints down here. That's not my foot, right? No, mine's way too small. So somebody was down here, and why would somebody be down here if there was no reason to be down here? Okay, let's do a little investigating. I thought at first from up top that might have been it there on the edge of the river, and unfortunately, I forgot my dang thermometer in the car, so I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Oh no, that's cold river water. No hot seep of any kind coming up. Okay, maybe over here. I'm just looking for anything that looks like it might have at one time been a built-up little pool that somebody made. No, that's cold. Maybe over here. No, also cold. Dang it, there is nothing whatsoever resembling a hot seep anywhere around here. I might have to revise my opinion of this new hot spring book. It's written by these two women, and they seem super cool because, gosh, they hike to all these different hot springs all over the place, and then they take photos and they give you directions and they write the coordinates, and I don't know why nobody yells at them. If I did that in a video, whoo-wee, I'd be tarred and feathered. Apparently it's different if it's in a book. Okay, well then there's also these kind of sumpy puddles up on the shore. Maybe this is a hot seep. I mean, I'm not above sticking a finger in there. Oh, it is warm. Not hot, but warm. Yay. Let's go try this one over here. This one's a little bit deeper. I mean, I suppose, oh wow, the sand is very mushy here too. It looks like, the sand isn't hot though. Yeah, the water's tepid, but it's hard to say if that's just from, you know, not being in the river, just room temperature, air temperature. Nah, it is. God, I can't imagine that this hot spring would ever actually be hot, because that's not very hot water. Look how cute though, a little raccoon or some little critter was trying to go for a soak. Now, let me try this right here. See if this is warm. No, that's cold. Oh gosh. Well, dang it. Sally Jackson, if I ever meet you, I'm gonna have some very stern words for you. I think that's her name. Just kidding. Actually, if I ever met Sally Jackson, one of the women who wrote that book, I would just give her a big salute, because that book, I was gonna say it was an awesome resource for me, but since I wasn't able to go to any other hot springs while I was here, except for that one way up in the mountains that I got chased out of by wildfire, well, it wasn't really an awesome resource for this trip. But there's always next summer. Hold up! Never say never. I actually have cell signal here, so I was able to Google a photo of what this hot spring supposedly looks like. And according to what is written online, the pool is built out of construction riprap. And the picture that I saw had a couple of those concrete K barriers that they use along the highway as one of the walls of the soaking pool. And I do see a couple of those barriers up ahead. It doesn't look like there's a hot spring pool by it, but well, I came all the way out here. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't at least go investigate one more possibility. It's just really hard walking along this quote-unquote riverbank because it's just loose rock. But I'll make it one step at a time. At least I'm down here out of sight of the road now. I feel like a real freak when these cars were driving by me and I was walking. Like, The heck is she doing? Oh, nothing. Just looking for another hot spring. The usual. I mean, maybe this river is just much lower than it normally is because you can see the water line here where it's white. I don't know how this river could be lower than normal considering all the crazy snow melt we got this spring. I'm assuming they got a bunch of snow up in Idaho, just like they did everywhere else in the West. So you think there'd be plenty of water. You know what? I think I'm almost up at the highway anyway. It's too hard walking along this rock. I'm just going to brave the bemused glares of drivers and possibly getting hit by a car and walk as far along the shoulder as I can. So much easier. Okay, let's see. Aha! There they are, and there's even a little trail going down to them. Perseverance! Haha! I feel like one of those motivational posters. It pays off! Lesson learned. I guess the GPS coordinates, or the GPS positioning thing on a cell phone isn't super duper accurate. Wow, look. There's a pool there, and a little pool down there. Now we just gotta get down to them. Oh gosh, I really don't even have time to be doing this. Oh yeah, you can tell it's a hot spring because there's a beer can and somebody's gross old socks. What I was about to say is I don't even really have time to be doing this, man. I'm supposed to be going to shoot this other video and oh dear, I can't not at least soak it in. You know, like take a quick dip. Wow, yikes, it looks like these concrete barriers are about to collapse at any second and tumble into the pool. So in addition to possibly being busted for public nudity, hit by a car, you might also get crushed by riprap if you soak in this hot spring. That's okay, I ain't scared. Let's see how hot it is. According to the guidebook, it was supposed to be real hot. Ooh, yeah. It actually feels amazing. I'm totally getting naked. Woohoo! Naked at the side of the road in Idaho. Man, there is a decent amount of traffic going by here though. I better make this quick. Oh yeah, that feels so good. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Even if it is just a wallow under a wall of imminently collapsing K-barrier, it feels great. See, it's got a sandy bottom. Apparently the source is, well, it sounds like the source is trickling in from somewhere back here behind this decorated piece of riprap. Oh yeah, look, you can maybe see. There's a little tiny waterfall coming down behind that rock. Somewhere buried in this jumble is the source of this hot spring. How about that? Wow, I mean, if you don't look that way towards the construction materials, it's actually a pretty scenic place. I mean, first of all, we're sitting right beside the beautiful, majestic, raging Salmon River as it tears through this canyon. Right next to this highway. But look at these mountains. I mean, if it wasn't an overcast day, it would be pretty spectacular. But yeah, these passing cars on the highway, if whoever's sitting in the passenger seat happened to be looking out the window, out the side of the river, well, they could definitely see you if you stood up. Fortunately, no one's really looking down here, and I probably kind of blend in anyway. I mean, don't I? I'm sort of rock colored. Oh look, you know, there's all this goofy hippie graffiti down here. It looks like somebody wrote love, and then I don't know if that's supposed to be like a Christian fish that's also an eyeball. But then look over here. Looks like it used to say be happy, and I can definitely get on board with that graffiti. Ugh, I have been bummed out lately. Wah, poor me. I was stuck in Death Valley. I had all these car problems. I wasn't able to go to as many hot springs as I wanted to. Well, guess what? Happiness is still a choice, okay? You can choose to be bummed out that you missed out on, 4 weeks of travel, or you can just appreciate the 1 month you have, which is what I'm going to do. Just gonna sit here at the side of this friggin' highway and soak my weary bones. Unfortunately, it's too early in the day to drink a ranch water, but I did bring what's left of my morning coffee. So I'm just gonna sit here and drink it. Cheers. Now, I'll admit, this definitely wasn't the most scenic soak I've ever had, and it certainly was nothing like that most beautiful hot spring I'd ever been to, right up the road. But this little soak wasn't half bad for being right off the side of the highway. I mean, there's something to be said for convenience, right? And when you're traveling, you can't always stay at the Ritz. Sometimes you gotta lower your standards and stay at a Motel 6. So I dubbed this little roadside soak Motel 6 Hot Spring. And the best part? I didn't have to worry about bed bugs.